Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot my camera was on, so you guys get to see me up here in the booth. Turn that back off real quick. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. We are here at the Martinsville Speedway for the first race of the Northeast Division for the All-Pro Sim Racing League Super Series. Qualifying taking place right now on your screen. You see Preston Moores making his qualifying run. Completing lap number 2, we'll see if he improves. Currently 4th, and he'll stay in that 4th spot. A good night of racing ahead of us. We should be all ready to go. Qualifying just about wrapped up. A couple drivers still completing their runs. Max Hanley. Hanley finished top 5 in the points for the Southeast Division. Trying to kick things off the right way here at Martinsville tonight. A little slide into 3. It's tough to qualify here at Martinsville, and a lot of other drivers can tell you the exact same thing. Martinsville, a very rhythm-based track, and sometimes it can be hard to get into a rhythm in just 2 laps of qualifying. Hanley going to try it again on lap number 2. Looked a little better through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he can improve that entrance into turn 3. A lot better that time. Wraps the bottom. He'll try to get the throttle up off the corner. And Max Hanley goes to the top of the board. 19.237, the best lap time that we have seen in qualifying. Quite a ways quicker than Anthony Danta in the 51. Danta, your champion in the Southeast Series, trying to pick up where he left off. The top 20 going to make it straight through. But I believe everybody will run tonight's 125 lap main event. As we prepare for what looks like a last chance qualifier. It's kind of a warm-up session for these drivers, because we'll take a look at the qualifying results here. You can see that everybody... Try that again. There we go. Max Hanley, your fast qualifier. A 19.237 puts him top of the standings. Anthony Danta not too far off. The qualifying here at North Wilkesboro a little bit more spread out than we see at some of the other racetracks that we visit. A lot bigger gap in time. You lose a lot of time on the straightaway if you don't get a good run up off the corner. So we'll see who can get into their rhythm the quickest. We prepare for tonight's main event. We had 9 races last season in the Southeast Division. Brett Robinson picking up the most victories in the number 5. We do not see him in tonight's field. So Robinson not going to make the season opener for the Northeast Division. It looks like drivers are skipping this warm-up session, so we're going to try to get this advanced as quick as we possibly can. Looking at the schedule for this season, we've got Martinsville tonight, South Boston next week, and then Memorial Day, we will be taking the night off for the holiday. Then Richmond the week after that for 100 laps. Langley, June 8th, 150 laps. That'll be a fun one. Langley's a pretty fun racetrack on iRacing, especially when you can get a longer race where the track opens up a little bit. Oxford to kick off the season, 150 laps there. Another racetrack that, if the lane widens up, puts on some great racing. So the pace car is in, but nobody is on the racetrack. We'll take a quick step away while we get things sorted out and come back with some green flag racing for you guys in just one moment on the WDE Broadcasting Network. All right, folks, we're back. Cars are on track, warming up for tonight's season opener at Martinsville. These drivers are going to have to go the full distance on one set of tires, so you have to start this race off right. Everybody wanting to get their final adjustments made so they can fire off in the right direction and have the car to be there at the end. Track position is going to be important, but I think you're going to be able to win this race by saving tires as well. Currently Nick Rogers in the number 9 car. Scored as a number 9 car. It says number 8 right there for you guys. The warm-up just about finished up, and we will kick things off. Look at Martinsville Speedway here tonight. Track temperature only 86 degrees, so even with the sun shining on this half mile, not too hot and slippery of a surface, and it probably will cool off as we dip further into the night. Martinsville, a flat half-mile paperclip oval, and it often puts on some intense close-quarter racing. You may see some contact. We'll see what the drivers can do here tonight. We're going to be sending 24 super late models green. In the invert tonight, an 8. We'll look at our starting lineup momentarily. Anthony Danta in the 51, your Northeast Division champion, or sorry, Southeast Division champion. Picked up 2 wins in his championship campaign at Concord and Southern National. Neither track exactly like Martinsville Speedway here, I should say. But Southern National may be somewhat comparable, as you have to get into a rhythm there and really hit your marks. As it looks like the practice session is over. Drivers piling it up in turns 1 and 2. And we will go racing here momentarily. Warm-up is finished. The drivers are making their way to the starting grid. And let's meet our starting lineup for tonight's season opener at the Martinsville Speedway. 125 laps the distance. No sets of tires in the pits. And this is your starting lineup. Corey Rogers going to roll off from the top spot in the number 17. He'll have Nick Rogers to his outside in the number 8. He scored as the number 9, number 8 on screen. Austin Carter in the number 2 machine, going to roll off on the inside of row number 2. It is outside the 29 of Preston Moores. Still looking for his first victory this season. See if he can get it here tonight in the opener for the Northeast Division. Cole Williams, he picked up the win in race number 2 of the Southeast Series. He'll start from the 5th spot here tonight. Into his outside, Peyton Hamlet in the number 98, going to roll off from that 6th position. Starting 7th, your defending champion from the Southeast Division, Anthony Danta, going to roll off inside of row number 4. To his outside, fast qualifier, Max Hanley in the 49. Going to have to come from the 8th spot here tonight, but he'll have 125 laps to do it. Now to row number 5, outside of the invert, Reese Bogue, going to start from the 9th position in the number 4. Into his outside, Christopher Rogers in the number 00 machine. will roll off from the 10th spot. Row number 6 on the inside, Trey Craig in the 155. Going to start alongside Kevin Ammon in the number 7. Back behind them, second half of our field, Cooper Ward in the 04, going to start 13th. He'll have Brian Conover in the 97, starting 14th to his outside. Jeff Rogers in the 92, going to start 15th, with Brett McCoy in the number 1, starting 16th. On the outside lane, Ed Papineau in the 01, going to roll off from the 17th spot. And starting in the 18th spot, going to be Kenny Storkson in the 57. Final 3 rows on the inside, Michael Berner in the 09, and rounding out your top 20, Donnie Large in the 8. Steven Rogers going to start 21st in the number 12. To his outside, it's going to be Ryan Doucette in the 77 machine. And final row inside is going to be Eddie Dabrowski in the 029. And starting shotgun on the field, 24th spot, Austin Prey in the 141. So that is your starting field for tonight's 125 lapper at the Martinsville Speedway. Jump down trackside and look at the cars making their way to the grid. Just about finished with opening ceremonies and the drivers' meeting. We should be just about ready to go. Corey Rogers and Nick Rogers going to bring this field to the green. With the sun starting to set here on the Martinsville Speedway, the track temp going to cool down a little bit. Should allow these cars some more grip coming up off the corner. And we'll see how much differently it will drive compared to their qualifying session just a little while ago. As the field begins to roll away, we're going to give them a couple laps to get some heat into the tires here before we give them that 1 to go signal. And because Corey Rogers was the winner in the season finale for the Southeast Division, he will start this race from the rear. We'll see if he can get the job done. Gonna have to come a long way. 24 cars starting this one. The field just about ready to go racing. That's going to give Austin Carter the race lead from the start. We'll see if he can get a good launch. Pace car going to give one more trip around this racetrack. If you guys are watching somebody here in the field, let me know who you're cheering for These drivers watch back, they'll see you chat and let them know that you're cheering them on. We get ready to send this field green. Place your picks. We've got 21 cars on the racetrack. It looks like a couple drivers not making the call. We'll send 21 of them green. As Austin Carter and Nick Rogers roll through turns 3 and 4. The pace car is off. We'll wait for the drop of the green flag. And the green flag waves. And we are underway here at Martinsville. Down through turns 1 and 2. A little contact between Nick Rogers and Austin Carter. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Nick Rogers on the outside lane. Looks like he gets the advantage through the first couple of corners. He will come around to lead lap number 1, but can he get down to the bottom? Carter back down to the inside. Going to try to take that second spot away. But can he get the top spot? On the inside lane is Austin Carter. On the top is Nick Rogers. These two battling hard for the race lead here early. Neither driver really able to get any sort of advantage over the other. Back behind him, Anthony Danta gets around Preston Boers. That is for the 4th spot. Cole Williams now up into 3rd. Couple car lengths behind your race leaders. Nick Rogers, at this moment, you don't want to push too hard on that outside lane. You can see him trying to hold his position on the top. But with that gap back behind you, want to just maybe let him go and try to ride around a little bit here in the beginning. But still, Rogers pushing forward on that outside lane. You can see the run that he gets down the backstretch. But big time run into the corner that time from the 2 of Austin Carter. Kind of moves Rogers up the racetrack a little bit and says, hey man, it's pretty early in the race to be battling like this. Let's go ahead and settle in, get back into rhythm. Your top 4, single file, as Trey Craig makes the move on Peyton Hamlet for the 8th spot. Cooper Ward rounds out your top 10 back behind. So far into this one, though, 7 laps in when we come back clean and green here at Martinsville. Up front, Austin Carter still holds the race lead. He's got Nick Rogers right there on his back bumper. Rogers putting a little bit more pressure on than what we saw there in the beginning. Lap 10 up on the board. They're running 19-second laps, so lap's going to go pretty quick here. One of the longer short tracks we run, if we stay green, the laps will drop quick. We've got a 5-car breakaway at the front. Carter, Rogers, Williams, Danta, and Hanley, your top 5 fast qualifier. Max Hanley already up into that 5th position. Only 10 laps into this one. Rogers putting a pretty good amount of pressure on Austin Carter for that race lead, making him hold that position honestly and earn every lap that he leads. And contact for the 3rd spot. Anthony Danta into the back bumper of Cole Williams. Williams went up the racetrack a little bit there. Danta moves up into the 3rd spot. Cole Williams is going to go back to 5th as Max Hanley was able to get by as well. Looked like just a little nudge sent the 46 up the track. Williams did not put up too much of a fight, knew that there's still plenty of time left in this one, and did not want to put too much wear on those tires. Up front, though, this battle for the race lead still neck and neck. Your top two right there, bumper to bumper, as we're 15 laps in. A little bit further back, Trey Craig in the 155, up 3 positions into the top 10 here. Actually, one of the biggest movers so far. Not too many positions have been made so far in this one. Only 17 laps in, though. Long ways to go. Now up front for the race lead. Here comes Nick Rogers to the inside underneath Austin Carter. Can he make the run on the inside lane? Carter up top trying to put up a fight on the outside. Rogers down low, and these two battling side by side only allows Anthony Danta to creep closer and closer as the two pulls back on the top down the front stretch. That time down into one. Austin Carter got a little bit sideways, had to back out of it and kind of slid up the racetrack. And now he's going to lose the second spot as well to Anthony Danta. So move Austin Carter back to third. He'll have your fast qualifier Max Hanley right on his back bumper, and I think Hanley going to take a peek to the inside. Carter going to try to back out of that one. Looks like that 2 machine may have overheated the tires just a little bit. Might be trying to kind of settle down a little bit. Out front, though, Nick Rogers, your race leader. Anthony Danta in that second spot. Picked up 2 victories last season, trying to start this season off on the right foot and maybe pick up win number 1. Max Hanley, he finished 5th in the standings last season. Still looking for that first victory. He was your fast qualifier here tonight. As this time around, it will be 100 to go. So 25 in, 100 to go for Nick Rogers when we come back to the stripe. He's starting to open up that gap just a little bit. That last time by about a 10th faster than your race leader. Or sorry, than Anthony Danta in the second spot. Look at the lap times. Rogers out front. Fastest car on the racetrack is that number 9 machine. Pretty soon, though, Rogers is going to have some lap traffic. That's actually Corey Rogers in the 17. This time by lap 30. Going to go up on the board. The battle for the sixth spot, starting to get a little bit more interesting as Preston Boers has got a whole line of cars packed behind him. I don't think they're all lined up behind him. I just think they all happen to be running similar pace and on the same spot of the racetrack. "30 laps in the books." Cole Williams starting to put some pressure on Austin Carter for 4th. Remember, the 46 was running up inside of the top 3 early on. He moves around the number 2, move him back up to 4th. And he will set his sights on your fast qualifier, Max Handley. We are still pretty early into this one. Caution free, 32 laps in. Rogers continues to show the way. A 1.3 second advantage now over Anthony Danta. As Danta's starting to get some company from Max Handley in the 49. Handley creeping a little bit closer. Remember, those two qualified 1-2 in this one. As Nick Rogers puts Corey Rogers 1 lap down in the 17. Danta in the 51 trying to hold on to that second spot, but you also just, at this point in the race, you want to save tire. That's what everybody's trying to do. You're trying to save tire while also picking up track position where you can, but you don't want to push to do that. Very easy to get the tires hot in this car, and you can make them last all 125 laps, but if you get them hot, it's going to be tough to get that car to the finish. Anthony Danta comes up on the back bumper of Corey Rogers. And Rogers not running that much slower than your race leaders. I think right now maybe just trying to save in hopes of a caution flag. Danta on the back bumper of Corey Rogers hasn't quite gotten around him. He's gotten up to the back bumper, but hasn't been able to move to the inside, as there is a look underneath. Rogers going to allow the 51 to pass by there. Now Max Handley going to get the same treatment in the 49. A little bit further back, Trey Craig on the back bumper of Reese Bogue. They've got Preston Boers right in front of them, and like I mentioned earlier, this group kind of all packed right on top of each other, just outside of the top 5. Austin Carter holds that final spot in the top 5, and all these drivers charging forward won it. You can see Carter in the 2 machine starting to slow down a little bit. Harder to get that car up off the corner. Is on board with Preston Boers in the 29. Currently holds that 6th spot. Trying to work his way forward to the top 5. Your race leader, Nick Rogers, his race lead out to 2 seconds down the back straightaway. You can see Anthony Danta in the background. Starting to get smaller and smaller in the rear view of the 8. We have not had a caution just yet. We are approaching 50 laps under green. Right now, Roger is able to be out front and setting his own pace. This time by for Nick Rogers, it's going to be 50 laps in, 75 laps to go. Still a long ways from the finish. Rogers leads by 2.1 seconds at the stripe that time. Got a couple drivers up in front of him at risk of going a lap down. And look at this. Cole Williams starting to get up closer and closer to the back bumper of Max Hanley. Remember, he got back around Austin Carter for the 4th spot a little while back. And now Williams starting to put the pressure on Hanley for that 3rd position. This is all about 3.5 seconds behind your race leader. That's how far ahead of the field Nick Rogers is at this moment. The question is he burning his stuff off? Is he going to have enough for all 125? We will find out here shortly. Max Hanley and Cole Williams battle down the backstretch. Williams creeping closer and closer. You can see that car, I think, driving up off the corner just a little bit better than Hanley. Further back, Reese Bogue to the inside of Trey Craig. Those two trade a little paint down into turns 3 and 4. There's a little more contact up off of the corner now. Craig going to use that outside lane to take this spot away, and Hamlin into the back bumper of Reese Bogue. Bogue up the racetrack, going to lose a couple spots. War Machine back outside of the top 10 here. Craig up the racetrack there, and you can see as we get a little bit further into this race, drivers start to push the tires and push the cars a little bit more. And that's when these things really start to become a handful. You see the 15 starting to move up off the bottom a little bit. Right side of that race car is starting to lose grip. But he's getting good runs up off the corner. You can see him charge up to the back bumper of Preston Boers in the 29. Preston Boers right there on the back bumper of Austin Carter, getting ready to take that 5th spot away. A little nudge to the back bumper of the 2. That allows Trey Craig to actually look to the outside of Preston Boers. Now those two battle for position off of 4. As Preston Boers a little bit further down into turns 1 and 2, gets into the back bumper of Austin Carter, and Trey Craig into the wall. A couple of cars slicing and dicing into turns 3 and 4. All kinds of contact. Peyton Hamlet went back a couple of positions there. Trey Craig going to lose a couple as well in the 15. Going to go around in turns 1 and 2. Caution flag is going to fly. We saw that brewing for a couple laps as things got exciting. We'll watch that back one more time as Trey Craig went for a spin. And let's watch this back one more time. Here's the 29 getting into the 2 initially, I think. And this was back down into 1 and 2. 29 got into him there, and then the 15 grabbed the wall. And that shuffled him back, and then you can see there were 3 wide. And I think Trey Craig was just trying to get back down into line right here and flipped. Flip to the number 77 of Kevin Ammon. So the field back under yellow, or under yellow, I should say, for the first time here tonight. Gonna have a chance to reset things. The one driver that did not want to see that caution flag was Nick Rogers. He had a over 2-second advantage over Anthony Danta, and that's going to be reset here just shy of the halfway point. We'll basically split the race in half. We may see a run to the finish, but something tells me now that we've had a caution flag, things could be a little bit more intense. We'll see what happens as the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. The field will roll down the back straightaway here, and we get ready to send them back green. Just shy of 50 laps to go. Pace car is off. It's going to be Nick Rogers and Anthony Danta through turns 3 and 4. A little checkup there before the restart zone, and we are back racing. A good launch from Nick Rogers and the number 8 machine. As they go back racing, the 8 gets a good launch, and he's going to have half a second already down the back straightaway as Max Hanley looks underneath Anthony Danta for the 3rd spot, or 2nd spot, I should say. Hanley on the bottom, Danta on the top, trying to make that 2nd groove work, but the 49 has got a lane out front, and he will be clear coming off of turn number 4. Can Anthony Danta cross over and get back down to the bottom like he does down into turn number 1? How about the 4 of Reese Bogue? He's putting up a charge in the number 4 machine. He's using the second lane, keeping these guys pinned down to the bottom. And he's going to move up into the 3rd spot there that time around. And the caution flag flies. We're back under yellow. Kevin Ammon in the 77. Spun around in turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at what happened here. And see what put us under caution for the second time. You can see the 77 right there in front of Peyton Hamlet. Oh, and I think the 98 just overshot it right there. Not sure what happened, but into the back bumper of the 77. Definitely a big piece of contact there. Let's watch it back one more time. Go on board with Peyton Hamlet. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if he was trying to watch his mirror and get clear of Jeff Rogers and the 92 behind him, or if he was just overshooting the gap there. I'm not sure. Well, he definitely overshot the gap, but not sure what his intent was going down into 1 and 2. That's what we'll say. As the field receives the 2 to go signal, Nick Rogers continues to show the way. He got a great launch on that last restart. We'll have to see what Max Hanley can do this time around to see if he can fire off evenly with that number 8. But Rogers definitely looks like the car to beat so far. Qualified 7th. He's had a tremendous effort in this race so far. The lights go off on the iRacing.com pace car. Time to send them back racing here at Martinsville. 50 laps to go. Make it 49 when they come back through turns 3 and 4. And the green flag is back out. We're back racing down into turns 1 and 2 at Martinsville. Nick Rogers down the back straightaway has a 3-car length advantage over Reese Bogue and Max Hanley, who now battle for that 2nd spot. Watch that 4 machine. He made a good charge on that last restart on the outside lane. Can he get the job done on the bottom now? He's got your fast qualifier, Max Hanley, to his outside, and there's contact there. Big save from the 4 machine of Reese Bogue. Way to hang on to that car, as it looked like there was contact from Max Hanley in the 45. Bogue had to catch that race car going down the back straightaway, and that allowed Max Hanley to get up into the 2nd spot. We'll see if he can track down your race leader here. We'll look at the lap times that last time around. Fastest car on the racetrack was Cole Williams in the 3rd spot. Cooper Ward going to get clear of Brett McCoy there. Or sorry, that's Christopher Rogers in the 00. up front. Your race leader, Nick Rogers, continues to put the laps away. He's got a good race lead. He just does not want to see a caution flag. Peyton Hamlet in the 98 trying to work his way back forward after falling to the rear after that last incident. And oh, around goes the number 7 of Kevin Ammon. Caution flag is out. Middle of the front stretch. Got spun around. I don't know if somebody got loose on corner exit. You saw it at the bottom of your screen. The number 77 machine was going for a spin. It looks like the back bumper off of that race car. He's going to have to head pit side. Well, back bumper nearly off of that race car. It looks like it is on there. Let's watch what happened to Kevin Ammon. Like just a little bit of contact between him and the 92 of Jeff Rogers, I think. Rogers maybe, I don't know if he thought he was clear or if the number 77 just wanted a little bit more room up to the top. But definitely a disagreement on space there. Let's watch this back one more time. Here's the 92 on the outside. Yeah, you can see the 92 was definitely off the wall a little bit. I think Kevin Ammon just maybe thought he was going to have a little bit more space up to the outside. But unfortunately, around goes the 77, which will put us under caution for the third time. We had a long green flag run to open this one up. But now that we are inside of 50 laps to go, the intensity going up, the aggression going up, drivers knowing that there's not much time left to get to where you want to finish. As the field gets ready to go back racing, lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. We are all ready to go. Going to be Nick Rogers on the inside, Max Hanley on the outside. Watch that 46 of Cole Williams. He's been fast here these past couple restarts. We'll see what happens. We go into the restart zone, and a great launch once again from the number 8 of Nick Rogers. He will be clear down into turns 1 and 2, and there's contact for second. Max Hanley a little sideways, and oh, Anthony Danta goes around in the 51. And we've got a mess coming out of turns 1 and 2. Anthony Danta in the 51 went around. Big damage on the 97 there. Let's look at what happened. You saw contact between your front two, but what happened to the 51 right here? Oh, and got tagged by Cooper Ward. And then a couple cars trying to avoid actually spun after the fact. That was Trey Craig in the number 15. They got looped up in front of Anthony Danta. We'll go on board with Trey Craig for this if we could. This is what he saw down into turns 1 and 2. Yeah, and you can see, you saw the wreck there. There was a gap through the middle. Closed up right there at the last second. He got tagged and spun around. Almost spun around, I should say. But a couple cars with some big damage after that one. Cooper Ward, I think maybe calling it a night in the 0-4. As the field gets the 1 to go signal here, we're going to send him back green. Just shy of lap 100. So still over 30 to go. Still some time for one of these drivers to find something for Nick Rogers. Cole Williams now going to line up alongside the number 8. Let's see what happens. We head through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off. Back into the restart zone. Another early launch from the 8, but Cole Williams a little bit closer in the 46. He's going to be down into that second spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Nick Rogers holds the race lead. Cole Williams second. Max Hanley third. Preston Boers and Reese Bogue battle for the 4th spot. But out front is the number 8 of Nick Rogers, starting to pick up where he left off on that first run, to try to extend that gap if he can. Austin Carter, Christopher Rogers battling for the 6th spot on the racetrack. Rogers on the inside, Carter on the top. It'll be 28 laps to go this time. It's a hornet's nest for these final couple spots in the top 10. Peyton Hamlet in the 98 gets by Trey Craig. Now Corey Rogers underneath Trey Craig. Craig holds that final spot in the top 10. 27 to go this time. Up front, Nick Rogers continues to hold the race lead. He sees 25 laps to go, but that time, Cole Williams just a little bit quicker in the 46. What can Cole Williams do with 25 to go this time? Is there anything left in the 46? Can he track down this 8 machine? What about your fast qualifier, Max Hanley, as well? He's just under a second away with 24 laps to go this time. I still think there's time for these drivers to make a charge if there's anything left in the tanks. That time by Max Hanley, fastest car on the racetrack. Everybody seems to be kind of going back and forth on lap times. Nobody has a clear advantage over the others. But Nick Rogers seems to be consistently the only driver in the 19.3s. He's starting to pull away here with 21 laps to go. Peyton Hamlet, Christopher Rogers, side by side for the 8th spot. Rogers on that outside lane, making the second groove work. Peyton Hamlet really hasn't been able to get clear of that machine. Trey Craig and Anthony Danta side by side. Danta trying to work his way back through the field. No, Trey Craig in the 15 goes around out of turn number 4. That was right in front of, I think that was Ed Papineau in the 0-1. Who had a front bumper full of that 15 of Trey Craig. Let's take another look at what happened. You definitely see the car went around on him. Did he hit the curb? Yeah, it looked like he grabbed the curb with the left front. You can see Ed Papineau had nowhere to go in the 0-1. Caution flag back out. The 5th caution flag so far, and we are inside of 20 laps to go. It'll be 15 to go this time when Nick Rogers comes back to the stripe. The key now for anybody inside of the top 5, I think, is you have to get a good restart. Gotta get a good restart. Give yourself a shot to even be alongside Nick Rogers down into turns 1 and 2. Or even on the bumper, if he slips up and you have a run down the backstretch, you never know what can happen down into turn 3. Still plenty of time, but starts with a great restart right here. Field this time, going to get the 1 to go signal. And we'll send them back green with 13 laps to go. Going to be Nick Rogers versus Cole Williams. Field rolls down through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off. It is Nick Rogers and Cole Williams into the restart zone. And green flag is out. We're back underway with 13 to go. Another good launch for Nick Rogers in the number 8. Cole Williams in the 46 going to try to track him down from the 2nd spot. Down through turns 3 and 4, back behind him, we've got a couple cars spinning around. That's Corey Rogers in the 17 going for a slide. Front end on that race car got some pretty heavy damage as well. So a quick caution there. Gonna make Nick Rogers get another good restart. That was a good start for him there. Did not get much out of it. Well, let's watch one more time. See if we can't see what happened down into 3. I think the 2 got to the back bumper of Hanley, and then there was a stack up from there, and around went Corey Rogers off of the nose of Kevin Ammon in the 77. But that will bring the caution flag out once again. The 6th caution flag we've had this evening. Your top three just about the same. I think Reese Bogue was able to get in front of Max Hanley for the third spot, so he'll have the inside of row number 2 opposed to the outside. The field awaiting the 1 to go signal here, but this restart's definitely going to be intense. Still anybody's ball game. I think if they can get a good launch and have a shot at Nick Rogers here, maybe put some pressure on that number 8 machine, they can have a shot at winning. We'll see what happens. They get the 1 to go signal this time by. It's going to be an 8-lap shootout. Nick Rogers, Cole Williams, your top 2. So we head down into turns 3 and 4. An 8-lap shootout here at the Martinsville Speedway. Who's it going to be? Can Nick Rogers seal the deal, or can Cole Williams seal the checkered? Through the restart zone, once again, another good launch from the 8 machine. But Cole Williams right there in the 46. Here comes Reese Bogue in the number 4. Bogue in the 4, can he get clear of Cole Williams for the second spot as Rogers out front takes the lead? 7 to go this time by, and the battle is on for that second position. Reese Bogue down low, Cole Williams up top, trying to make the outside lane work here with limited laps left. Can either one find the speed they need? It will be 5 laps to go this time. 5 to go for Nick Rogers, trying to hold off Reese Bogue and Cole Williams. He's got 7/10 of a second over Reese Bogue as Cole Williams gets back in behind. Bogue takes that second spot away. But can he track down your race leader, Nick Rogers? There is 4 laps to go this time. They're coming back to 3 to go. Time is running out. Cole Williams in the 46 going to have Max Hanley to his outside now. Hanley trying to go the long way around with 3 to go. This time by for Nick Rogers. Popsicle sticks up in the air. Trying to pick up the first victory of the season at the Martinsville Speedway. Oh, and Cole Williams into the wall. And the caution flag flies. I actually think there was another separate incident, but Cole Williams in the 46 got up into the wall. Brett McCoy, it looks like, in the 1, I think, was maybe the cause for the initial caution. Yeah, it looked like the 92 of Jeff Rogers got to the back bumper of the 1 and sent him for a spin. And then let's watch what happened to Cole Williams. You see Williams in the 46. I think he just got up into the wall. Good job by everybody behind him to miss the spinning 46. But that caution behind actually really ended up saving that 46 car. Instead of falling out of the top 5, he's going to have a shot at the win on the restart. He'll be scored in the 3rd position. field awaiting the 1-to-go signal here. We're going into overtime. I believe we are only given one shot at the green-white checkered here, so we've got to get it done on this restart. We'll see if we can finish this one under green. Field goes into turns 3 and 4. It is in the hands of Nick Rogers and Reese Bogue. Final time through the restart zone. Great launch from both drivers, and we're down into turns 1 and 2. 2 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Reese Bogue on the outside lane trying to steal the victory in the number 4 machine. They will come back to the white flag this time. Final time around here at Martinsville. Can the number 4 of Bogue get the run on the top? Rogers in the 8. Runs up just a little bit through the center of 1 and 2, but here comes the 4 down the straightaway. Final time through turns 3 and 4. The number 4 of Reese Bogue gets a run on the outside, but it's going to be Nick Rogers. Nick Rogers was able to hang on from the inside lane on that final restart and take the victory. You saw Reese Bogue and the number 4 machine make a great effort, but ultimately ending up in that second spot, just 1 spot short. We'll see if we can't grab our top 3 finishers here. Alrighty, folks, and now we're going to talk to our top 3 finishers. Now we'll start with our 3rd place finisher, Cole Williams, up into the broadcast booth. 3rd place for you here tonight, Cole. It was kind of an eventful race. You got shuffled outside of the top 5. You worked your way back up into the top 5. You were in 2nd at some points. Kind of an all-around, it was a good run for you, but maybe not the exact finishing position you wanted.
No, I'm definitely happy. I told my buddies Trey Craig and them at the beginning. I said, started out last season, the first race we got wrecked on lap like 5. I said if we could just do better than that, I'd be happy with it. But no, it seemed like restarts were really important tonight. I feel like that's where a lot of your positions were gained or lost. So I just tried to capitalize where I could and then kind of just settle in from there. But I think Nick Rogers he had a significant pace tonight and he was gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, that 8 machine definitely had something figured out that the rest of the field didn't have over the long run. He could just keep that car rolling, and it looked like a couple guys may have stalled out after a couple laps. But still a great run for the 46 tonight. Good way to start off the season, like you said. Different than last season. You wrecked out week 1 last season and won week 2. So does that mean this week?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what that means for next week, but hopefully it means something good. But nonetheless, Cole, who do you have to thank for top 3 in week number 1?
I just got to thank Preston for putting on this show and you guys broadcasting it. It's been a good week so far and been enjoying it. So we'll just keep on keeping on.
Alrighty, well, hopefully we can see you here soon. And I feel like I'm probably going to jump into a couple of these races that I don't have to broadcast. So hopefully that's some fun. We can put on some good racing. But nonetheless, congrats to you, and we wish you luck throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was your 3rd place finisher. Now we will talk to our 2nd place finisher. Made it interesting there at the finish. We'll see if we can grab a word from Reese Bogue. Made it interesting there, Reese, at the finish. It was kind of a battle on restarts. Nick was getting very good restarts all race long, and finally that last attempt at the restart, you were able to be side by side with him down into 1 and 2. I think maybe one more lap of learning how to hold him down on the top, you may have had a shot there, but still great battle till the end.
Yeah, that was really my first time to restart in the front row all night, and I kind of seen about where Nick was launching, and I don't want to say I timed it, but I was just trying to predict it, and I actually kind of got it pretty good there, and I kind of checked up a little bit, like I cracked out of the gas as soon as I got into it is when he went, so I lost a little there, and yeah, I was just trying to hang on the top there, and I burnt my right front up too early, kind of in the pack there. I didn't feel like I did, but then I kind of started trying to pick it back up, and I felt just sliding around. So I was just doing what I could there on the top to hang on and try and hold him down. But ultimately, the right front was burned up, and I just kind of kept washing up a little more than I wanted to. But it was a good, clean race to the end there, and definitely interesting and fun there side by side at the end.
Yeah, definitely was an interesting finish, like you said. It was good to see the rest of the field launch with the race leader right there, and it made things really close down to the wire. Nick, like you said, had the field kind of covered in the long run. You said car kind of got a little bit slidey towards the end. Definitely the case here at Martinsville. It's tough to keep the car throughout the entire race, and you only had that one set of tires that you started on. So if you don't start up at the front, if you have to work your way up to the front, it definitely makes things a little bit more difficult. But still great run for you here tonight. P2, when it was all said and done, who do you have to thank for a podium?
Yeah, I want to thank actually Preston. Honestly, I work with him, and he kind of invited me to this league, and told me to go on tonight. So I want to thank him for getting me on this. McConey Setup Shop, Stint Analyzer, and anybody else that's watching. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you putting this on, and hopefully I'll be able to make a couple more races here in the upcoming weeks.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you on P2 in race number 1 of the Northeast Series. Hopefully you can have some more good runs in the future.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thanks for putting this on.
Yep. All right, now we'll talk to our winner here tonight. Battled hard for the lead in the beginning. Had to drop back into the 2nd spot, maybe even the 3rd spot there. But Nick Rogers, when it was all said and done, you were the man to beat, and you got the job done. How do you feel after race number 1 at Martinsville?
Feeling pretty good. It was a long time coming, that's for sure. Couple runner-up finishes, and unfortunately got taken out from the lead early in the season, but we're back.
Yeah, definitely good to get that first one under your belt, especially if you've had, when you're close to getting that first one, the moment it gets taken away, it's devastating. And then when you finally get that first one, it makes it mean so much more. So, first victory here tonight. And you did it in dominating fashion. You didn't just barely pick up the victory. You were the car to beat all night long. It looked like you had something on the long runs that everybody else could not maintain. And we saw you on that first run get a big gap built up after taking the lead back. And it was pretty much lights out from there. You were an ace on the restarts. Reese almost got you on that last one. He made you earn that victory. But still, winner here at Martinsville to kick off the season. Do you think you have maybe another checkered flag in you sometime this season?
Absolutely. I think I just needed to break the ice. I had really good momentum coming into Martinsville and finished 4th in points last season. But yeah, I mean, there was really no game plan. It was just to run hard from the beginning. I knew track position was going to be key, and I wasn't quite sure how many cautions, so I just needed to make sure I was on my game on the restarts. And yeah, I really gotta thank Reese for running me clean, and Preston, of course, for running the league, and all the other admins. So props to them for giving us a place to race. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun here tonight. It was fun to see that beginning stretch of the race, the green flag run that everybody was able to put on. We kind of saw some comers and goers. The first little bit of the run, you were battling hard for the race lead those first couple laps. Eventually, Austin Carter kind of gave you the door into 3, said, "Hey, we're gonna stretch this out a little bit," and then you were able to kind of calm things down, and you got back around him. And once you got around him, from that point, it was the Nick Rogers show. You ended up, I think, at one point almost 3 seconds out. But great performance from you here tonight. We wish you luck in the upcoming races for the All-Pro Racing League. But nonetheless, congratulations on your victory at Martinsville.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the broadcast. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Nick Rogers, folks, your winner here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Let's grab our feature results, get them up on screen for you guys. Nick Rogers, your winner. Reese Bogue came home 2nd. Those two were close at the line. Good finish there. Bo Williams came home 3rd. Max Hanley, your fast qualifier, comes home 4th. Preston Boers rounds out the top 5. Kevin Ammon 6th. Austin Carter 7th. Trey Craig 8th. Christopher Rogers 9th. Peyton Hamlet 10th. Jeff Rogers 11th. Ed Papineau 12th. Donnie Large 13th. Corey Rogers 14th. Anthony Danta 15th. Kenny Storkson 16th. Brett McCoy 17th. Steven Rogers 18th. Michael Berner 19th. Brian Conover 20th. And Cooper Ward rounds out your field in the 21st spot. So thank you guys for watching tonight's season opener for the Northeast League, or Northeast Division for the All-Pro Sim Racing League. We look forward to giving you guys the season finale here in a couple months. But thank you guys for watching one more time. I'm your host, Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network, signing it out. Until next time, talk to y'all later. Peace out.